Okay, let's unpack this. Because if you thought reality TV couldn't get any wilder, well, buckle up.
Right?
The world of love and hip-hop has been absolutely set ablaze by a truly shocking claim.
Mm-hmm.
Rashida, married to Kirk, she just came out and said it quite plainly. Yeah, I spent the night with Mendeecees.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like that. And, well, for those of you following along, you know Mendeecees. He's married to Yandy. And their relationship, it's definitely had its moments.
Oh, definitely. And what's really fascinating here, I think, is the immediate ripple effect of that one statement.
Totally.
We're looking at a YouTube transcript from Celeb Strike that seems to capture the raw, unfiltered fallout from this bombshell.
Right.
Consider this deep dive your shortcut, maybe, to understanding the core of this drama. We're trying to get at the dynamics, what's really going on in this very public situation.
Exactly. Our mission today is to cut through all the noise, the speculation, the social media frenzy, and get to the heart of what this specific YouTube transcript reveals. And we want to understand the different sides, the perspectives involved, and, well, what the available info actually tells us. And maybe just as importantly, what it doesn't.
Good point. So where do we start? Rashida's claim itself.
Yeah, let's dive right in there. The initial claim and the immediate chaos.
Okay. So the transcript shows this almost like casual way Rashida dropped it during a live broadcast, no less.
Yeah, that bluntness. Yeah, I spent the night with Mendeecees. That really seems to be the spark, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It wasn't some whispered rumor. It was bam, right out there. Public, direct.
And the reaction was instant, right? The transcript paints this picture of just shock, disbelief, anger, all of it.
The whole spectrum. And social media just, exploded.
Totally.
Right.
And Yandy's initial reaction, as is captured in the transcript, really highlights how serious this was. It says she was furious and shocked.
Understandably.
And immediately vowed to find out what was going on. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening, but I'll find out the truth. You can almost feel that sense of betrayal coming through the text.
Yeah, that's a key point. And it's interesting why these kinds of celebrity things get such strong reactions from the public, And it often taps into our own feelings about relationships, about loyalty, what's public, what's private.
Right.
And the transcript points out that social media was immediately split down the middle. Some people were like, go Rashida, applauding her boldness, maybe her honesty.
Or what they saw as honest.
Exactly. But then you had this whole other group criticizing her hard, saying she was, deliberately trying to break up a family.
That immediate split, that polarization, it happens so often, doesn't it?
It really does. It's almost predictable with these things.
Okay, so then, this is where it gets really interesting. Mendeecees' response. Or maybe his non-response.
Yes. The vagueness.
That just added fuel to the fire, didn't it?
Yeah.
The transcript mentions his initial social media post. Although people love to start drama, the truth always comes out.
So cryptic.
Right. Instead of a clear yes or no or here's what happened, you get that.
Well, and if you think about it psychologically, that kind of ambiguity, it can actually make people more suspicious.
How so?
Because it forces everyone to speculate, right? To fill in the blanks themselves. And often people imagine something way more dramatic than maybe what actually happened.
Interesting point.
Was he subtly hinting it was true? Or just trying to dodge the question? The transcript suggests fans were just left confused and more curious.
And his later evasiveness, that whole, the truth will always come to light. It's like he's almost enjoying the mystery or something.
Or just really bad at crisis management.
Could be that too. But the transcript really emphasizes how his silence, his vague comments, just cranked up the fan curiosity and, crucially, the suspicion.
If there was nothing to hide, why not just say so directly?
Exactly. Which leads us to Yandy again.
Yeah, this lack of transparency from her husband must have been incredibly painful. The transcript definitely reflects that.
Absolutely. It details her trying to figure things out, calling friends, family, just scrambling for information.
Desperately trying to understand.
Yeah, and it highlights her confusion, her hurt. It wasn't just Rashida's claim, it was also Mendeecees just refusing to be straight with her.
That emotional turmoil for Yandy, it's really a central thread in the Celeb Strike report. It mentions sleepless nights, and the constant barrage from social media. Imagine everyone commenting on your deepest personal crisis.
Nightmare.
And that feeling, the transcript notes, that the trust she'd built with Mendeecees, maybe painstakingly built, was just crumbling.
Yeah. That says she was struggling to focus on anything else. Family, career, just overwhelmed.
Completely consumed by it.
And as if things weren't messy enough, The transcript then says the rumors just took off.
Oh, the rumor mill.
Right. Secret meetings, hidden messages, even talk of video evidence. It just spiraled.
But it's important, the transcript mentions these rumors, like the video evidence, but it doesn't actually provide any solid details about that evidence.
Good point. It's just whispers and speculation.
Exactly. Which shows how fast things can spread online, even without any real proof.
And then you have Rashida, according to the transcript, kind of poking the bear with her social media posts, like, if they want the truth, they'll get it.
Yeah, the transcript portrays her as maybe enjoying the chaos a little bit, or at least not backing down.
Seems that way, like she's embracing the drama she started.
Which definitely adds another layer to the whole narrative around her.
Okay, so the pot is thoroughly stirred at this point. And then, boom, a leaked video pops up.
Right. The transcript details this moment. A video appears online, seems to show Mendeecees and Rashida at a hotel.
What were they doing?
Just apparently laughing and talking, looking relaxed, friendly.
Okay, so predictable reaction.
Totally predictable. More debate, more division. The celeb strike report highlights these conflicting interpretations.
Let me guess. Some saw it as proof.
Yep. Definitive proof of the affair for some viewers. They were like, see? Told you so.
But others
Suggested, well, maybe the video's old. Or maybe they're just friends catching up. That being friendly doesn't automatically mean an affair.
The lack of context is key there, I guess. It lets people see what they want to see.
Precisely. Multiple readings are possible.
And Yandy's reaction to seeing this video, the transcript says, devastation.
Yeah. Understandable, right. It seemed to lend weight to Rashida's story.
So she goes back to Mendeecees again, trying to get answers.
She does, but frustratingly, the transcript says he remained evasive. Pulled out that classic line, we'll talk about it when the time is right.
Ugh, not the time you want to hear that.
Absolutely not. That evasiveness, right at that crucial moment, it just deepens the mistrust, doesn't it?
Totally. If it was innocent, just explain it.
His reluctance just reinforces the suspicion, leaves Yandy twisting in the wind emotionally.
And the transcript mentions theories started flying then. Like, maybe the video was a setup. Or maybe they had been secretly involved all along.
Yeah, all sorts of speculation ignited by that short clip.
Okay, this is already a tangled web. Now throw in Kirk Frost, Rashida's husband.
Yeah. The transcript describes his very public reaction. He jumps in, accuses Mendeecees of disrespecting Rashida.
What did he say?
Something like, no one is going to insult Pressa in that way. She is a queen, using her nickname Pressa.
Okay, so defending his wife.
Publicly. Very publicly. Which adds this whole new layer. Now it's a potential male rivalry brewing.
Right, the transcript outlines that escalating tension between Kirk and Mendeecees. Kirk's being protective, making these accusations. It just blows the whole thing up even more.
It really does. It's interesting how these things spread outwards, pulling more people into the orbit of the original drama.
And it didn't just stop with words, did it? Kirk's Instagram.
Ah, yeah. The transcript mentions that cryptic post, hinting at a physical confrontation.
What was it? Some things are better settled face to face?
With a picture of a fist. Pretty unambiguous message there.
Wow. Okay. So, things are getting heated.
Definitely heightened the drama. The celeb strike report notes all the media speculation that followed. Would they actually fight?
Oh, the gossip sites must have loved that.
You bet. And the fans, the transcript says, got even more divided. Now people are taking sides not just with Yandy versus Rashida, but also Kirk versus Mendeecees.
So like Team Kirk versus Team Mendeecees now, too.
Exactly. A whole new battlefront opened up.
So finally, after all this buildup, all this pressure, Mendeecees speaks out properly.
He does. Breaks his silence with a public denial. Instagram Live, I think.
Yeah. The transcript quotes his opening. I've been quiet long enough. Sounds like he felt he had to say something.
The pressure must have been immense, and the transcript details his denial. It was pretty categorical.
What exactly did he say?
He said, what you guys are unaware of is that the story you're hearing about me and Rita. Wait, he called her Rita.
The transcript says Rashida sometimes too. Seems like names get mixed up. Let's stick with Rashida for clarity.
Right. Okay, so basically, the story you're hearing about me and Rashida is fabricated and twisted. The truth is, nothing happened between Rashida and me. Not a thing. Not a thing.
Not a thing, not a thing. Pretty emphatic.
Very firm.
Yeah.
But the transcript also points out that a lot of viewers were skeptical.
I didn't buy it.
Many didn't seem to. It highlights how, past actions or maybe just the way this whole thing unfolded made his denial less believable to some.
Perception is everything, I guess. And Rashida's reaction to his denial. Was she quiet?
Not a chance. Immediate response. Just as vehement. The transcript highlights her Instagram stories.
What did she say? Basically calling him out.
Pretty much called him a liar. Said something like, I told the truth. There's no way I'm going to let Mendeecees, and another name variation there, lie about spending the night with me. He wants to act as if it never happened, but I'm not going to let him get away with it.
Wow. So complete polar opposite accounts now. He says nothing happened. She says, I'm not letting him lie. It happened.
Exactly. Mendeecees flatly denies. Rashida doubles down, insists it's true.
Which leaves the public, and more importantly, Yandy, where exactly?
In a state of utter confusion and uncertainty. Who do you believe? It's the core question, really.
And poor Yandy is just stuck right in the crossfire. The transcript goes back to her emotional state, right?
It does. Reiterates that she wants to believe Mendeecees her husband.
Of course.
But she's struggling with doubt. Because of his past, maybe, and just the whole mess of the current situation, conflicting stories.
And Kirk Frost is still out there making noise, too.
Yep. The transcript mentions him doing an interview with a gossip blog, still going after Mendeecees, calling him a fraud, saying he's been deceiving Yandy for years.
Man, Kirk is not letting this go.
Not at all. He seems determined to paint Mendeecees in the worst possible light.
So the transcript paints this picture of Yandy's relationship just under immense, intense strain.
Absolutely. Her internal conflict is palpable, reading between the lines. Love for Mendeecees versus this growing mountain of doubt and lack of trust.
Fueled by his evasiveness and everyone else's accusations.
Right, and the transcript mentions even people in her inner circle are having doubts, suggesting maybe she should leave him. Adds even more pressure on her.
And Mendeecees himself. How's he portrayed at the end of this transcript's narrative?
Facing increasing isolation, it seems. His attempts to deny or explain aren't really landing well, negatively impacting his reputation.
So the whole situation is just a complete mess. And this transcript, specifically, it doesn't offer a neat resolution, does it?
Not at all. The public feud is ongoing. The relationship between Mendeecees and Yandy is clearly deeply damaged. Hanging by a thread, you might say.
Yeah.
Ultimately, yeah, the transcript leaves us hanging too. Lingering uncertainty. The key conflicts, Rashida says yes, Mendeecees says no. Yandy's stuck. They remain unresolved within the source.
So the big questions that linger, based purely on this deep dive into the Celeb Strike transcript, are pretty huge. Who is actually telling the truth here? Can Mendeecees and Yandy's relationship even survive this? Will the full truth ever really come out?
And this whole saga, it really highlights how truth can become so murky, so subjective in the public eye, especially when it's filtered through reality TV, social media.
Right.
We're left with different stories, different perspectives, and honestly, not much definitive proof either way in this transcript. It's hard to know what really went down.
So for you, the listener, maybe think about this. When you're faced with conflicting stories like this, and you only have limited information, what actually influences who or what you choose to believe?
Yeah, that's a great question.
And what does this whole episode maybe tell us about truth and perception, especially when people's private lives become public entertainment? It really makes you consider how we form our own judgments based on the narratives we're fed.